Hawaii 20-2 overall. They've won all 15 matches at home, but just 5-2 on the road. Kuponofe, Brett Rosenmeyer, the outsides. Mole and Gassman are the middles. Van Tilburg, we mentioned, is the opposite. Jennings Franciscovich, the senior setter. He's the key to everything Hawaii does. And, of course, the libero, Larry Tuileta. He has changed the game for them, the libero. He's a former USC walk-on quarterback. An amazing libero, was an amazing outside hitter growing up, winning Junior Olympics for several years. The head coach is Charlie Wade. He's done a tremendous job with UH. Longtime assistant under Mike Wilton, his 8th season, 127-93. BYU 17-2 overall, 9-1 at home. The starters look like this. The outside hitters, Langlois and Sander. Middle blockers, Joe Groshen. Miki Yauhiainen, because Bryce Jarman sprained his ankle Wednesday. He is out for the weekend. Tim Daubert is the man playing instead of Ben Patch. He's done a tremendous job. Leo Durkin is the setter for the Cougars. The libero is Eric Sykes, who's #1 in the league in digs now. His knee is feeling better. BYU getting healthier with the exception of Ben Patch, who I guess is getting healthy because he's sitting out. Sean Olmstead is the head coach, the pride of Carpinteria, California. Second season, look at this record. 44-6 in 50 matches in 2 seasons. BYU, of course, the national runner-up last year. Tonight's keys to the game are presented by Tim Daly Ford, Spanish Fork, formerly Smith Auto. What are the keys for the match, Steve?
Yeah, for Hawaii, they absolutely need to take care of the net. They are the leading blocking team in the conference, so they've got to block the lights out tonight. That, and we talked about Von Stilberg, this is the guy. He's had almost 500 attempts already this year, a ton of attacks, and so he absolutely needs to take care of the ball and get it done for Hawaii. On BYU's side of the net, they got to do a couple things. They got to stay in system. That means they got to pass the ball really well. If they can do that, they can establish their middles early and give Jake Langlois maybe some one-on-one attempts to get his numbers rocketing through the roof here tonight. So we'll see how this night goes.
Those keys to the game are brought to you by Tim Daly Auto Group, serving Utah since 1968. 2 seasons ago, Hawaii was ranked #1 and had won 16 in a row. They come in having won 15 in a row tonight. What did BYU do that ended up being a 5 seed and bowed out in the MPSF quarterfinals? Beat Hawaii twice. Charlie Wade said that team was burnt out at the end of the regular season. We had not prepared well in the fall. He feels like because they lifted 5 days a week in the fall, they are in the best shape of their lives. BYU owns the series history, 38-18. In Provo, Hawaii is 3-23, hasn't won here since 2003. And that was in the Marriott Center where BYU plays men's basketball. We're in the Smith Fieldhouse since 2001. It's been 16 years since Hawaii won in this building.
Those are some crazy numbers. And you're not a super fan of those numbers if you're a Hawaii fan. They're trying to make something different tonight.
I think this Hawaii team is one of the best prepared Hawaii teams to come in here and compete with BYU in a long time. Brendan Sander, first swing, he gets a kill. Sander has been battling some injury in his knees for most of the season. He is feeling better now than he's felt all season, which is great news for the Cougars.
That's why I never jumped 46 inches, because I didn't want to have knee issues. So I stayed in the low 30s.
Speaking of 46, Brendan told me before the match, he was measured at 46 inches on his vertical against Pepperdine a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that's working out for him. That's 2 service errors early for BYU.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But kind of the cool thing with what they're measured there in their verts, you get in a match like this, 5,000 fans screaming your name, you're probably going to jump even a little bit higher than what you've been measured at.
Kuponofe for the Rainbow Warriors. Right at Sykes, good pass to Durkin. Jake Langlois is dug up by Fay. Here's Van Tilburg. Pass the block, dug up by Daubert. Sander. Van Tilburg coming down, punched it into the net, 2-2.
That's a pretty nice swing there from Stein, but Daubert just lipped that ball. And then kind of a miss-hit error there. Decent soft block attempt, but unable to keep the ball in play.
Joe Grosh will serve for the Cougars without Ben Patch tonight, still resting an injured groin. And the sprained ankle of Bryce Jarman. Hendrik Mole gets the kill.
Pretty simple side out there for Hawaii. Good news is BYU served a ball in the court. That was kind of nice.
That's good news. Mole will go back to serve. 15 kills on 20 swings, no errors, including that kill the last 3 matches and this one. Incredible. Daubert. Oh, Tim Daubert. Ich bin a kill. 3-3.
Nice. Such a nice dish there from Leo Durkin. Kind of threw the blocker off, had no idea he was going to go back to Daubert. Kind of had an open net and just detonates.
That's one thing that's changed for BYU. Without Ben Patch, there's a little more distribution evenly among those 3 pin hitters.
Sure.
Franciscovich, the one-handed
Wow.
set to Patrick Gassman, the redshirt freshman. Franciscovich is a guy that can touch 12 feet as a 6'5" center. He's incredible.
Yeah, that's a nice job right there, going up and over the block for BYU. Big swing there. How come none of these guys are named Smith or Jones or something, for heaven's sakes?
It's Hawaii, man. The international guys and the Hawaiians. Forget about Brendan Sander in the zone. Peppered Kapono Fay there. 3 kills for BYU, and they're all from Sander.
Yeah, that was
Daubert, excuse me.
That was a nice kill there by Brendan. Trying to dodge a wrench there in the back row.
Jake Langlois back to serve. 2nd All-American a year ago. Looks like he could be a first-teamer this year. Leads the Cougars in aces, as you mentioned a moment ago, Steve. 30, and that one just out. And that's something that BYU has changed this season. They got served out of the match against Ohio State, so what they do in the offseason spent a lot of energy working on the serve. BYU's the 2nd best team in the league now in aces.
That's pretty awesome to be able to work on it like that and have those types of results. Hopefully they worked a lot on serve receive as well.
In the process, yes.
I'm sure, right? There it is.
One-handed set from Durkin. So it's a set-off tonight between Franciscovich, who I think is saying he had a question about.
Did he not like the set? No, that's
too less callous, the up rev, as Yao Hiainen gets the kill.
He's like, that wasn't as pretty as mine. That kill's a kill, man.
5-5, Yao Hiainen the Finn. Franciscovich outside. Kapono Fay with some quick offense down the line. So far, both teams swinging effectively. 3 kills on 4 swings for Hawaii, 5 kills on 6 swings for BYU. No errors for either team, no blocks.
Yeah, I think BYU set that block up a little bit inside, leaving that line wide open.
Gassman, who is as thick as stone. That guy's like a linebacker, my goodness.
I watched him.
They don't come at 6'9", though.
Yeah, I watched him in warm-ups, and he was kind of late getting to the outside and just got dotted in the eye by the opposite, and boy, he looked mad. That's the one guy you don't want to hit.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, the hitter was like, I'm sorry.
Franciscovich with the dump, and it was kept alive by Sykes, and then Langlois is blocked by Franciscovich. Franciscovich is violent with his dump, and Sykes was able to get it, and then Franciscovich, look at this. Excuse me, Daubert.
And then such a nice swing there from Jake, but just right into the heart of that Hawaii block. And no dice.
7-6 Rainbow Warriors. Franciscovich at Langlois. Durkin. Rosh is blocked. It's still alive. Free ball from Sykes. Tuileta. Franciscovich high for Van Tilburg. One-on-one.
Wow.
Pounds it off of Sykes. And Hawaii is up 8-6.
Wow, we know how high Brandon jumps to go block one-on-one there against Van Tilburg. And he made him look like he wasn't even on the block. Like he wasn't even out there. That was crazy. It's a nice attack.
Franciscovich, who had the best fall of anybody on the team, says his coach Charlie Wade. Durkin has to come way out for this one. A little low for Sander.
Nice job drawing in the Hawaii block.
Into the net. Point BYU. It was Van Tilburg.
Yeah, I think Brendan waited a little bit to swing kind of off speed down the line, and the block got antsy and netted.
And that's a freebie when you're that far out of system after that serve.
Absolutely.
8-7 Hawaii. Brendan Sander back to serve. Younger brother of Taylor, one of the best players in program history. Off the tape. Awkward spot, Van Tilburg. Free ball swing by Brett Rosenmeyer is out of bounds. 2 straight for BYU. We're tied at 8.
We talk a lot about a serve like that. No, it's not an ace, but look how well he did getting them out of system. And that swing out of the back row goes way wide.
Brendan's brother Taylor, the all-time leader in aces here. Brendan's pretty good himself. Throws the changeup at Tuileta. Handles it well. Rosenmeyer's dug up. Sykes Durkin back to Daubert, off hands and down, and BYU's taking back the lead with 3 in a row, 9-8 Cougars.
Nice play, great soft block there from the setter, Leo Durkin, setting up that play as he goes back to Daubert again. Daubert's like, Ben who? A nice swing.
Talked to Daubert today, he's feeling good, he's gonna graduate in April. Sander off the tape again at Rosenmeyer. Van Tilburg on the left side, Tuileta keeps it alive, what a play. Kapono Faye, triple blocked, kept alive. Sander, free ball swing from Langlois. Keeps it in, Tuileta, diving dig. Faye, blocked, and in! 10-8, what a sequence. First block of the match by BYU.
Dude, that's some gritty defense there from BYU and from Hawaii on both sides of the net. Great up there. Another block from BYU, deep in the court, nobody home.
I've been looking forward to this weekend for a long time because we knew there'd be some really good high-level volleyball in this one. Kapono Faye
was not out by much.
Did the butterfly down. His head felt like it almost hit the ground. That guy's flexible just to get out of the way of that.
That was really close to hitting that back line.
Sander with a nice run from the line for BYU. That one just goes out, so BYU up 10-9 here in set number 1. Number 4 Hawaii, number 3 BYU. 3 weeks left in the regular season. Back row for Sander, and he was past the 3-meter line.
Yeah, that was a late call, but I thought the same thing. That set did not come out very pretty.
Excuse me, double contact, thank you. So 10-10.
Leo's just laughing. That might have been why Les blew his whistle, as he saw Leo laughing after that set. He's like, yeah, okay.
Unless Callis is looking around. I think he says he wants to wipe the floor somewhere.
No towel. I didn't bring one, so I can't help.
He did look at you for a sec like, do you have a towel? And you typically bring a towel, but tonight you did not for some reason.
Not tonight.
So 10-10, what do you think through set 1 so far? We expected high-level volleyball.
It's pretty awesome, is what I think. It's been just back and forth. Two very big, very dominant teams, very physical. Just going back and forth. I think it's going to be like that tonight and tomorrow night.
10-10, set 1.
Dave Eberhard wearing a lot of hats here.
He's the athletic marketing guy. He's like, who's supposed to mop this? But typically that's not him. Kapono Faye. Great serve. Langlois steps in.
That was a big serve.
Durkin bump sets over to Daubert, and Daubert is blocked. Hawaii with 3 straight after BYU's 3 straight. The Warriors are up 11-10.
Yeah, Daubert doing a nice job even just to get his hand on that ball. That's a tough set, but unfortunately goes right into the heart of Hawaii's block.
Rosenmeyer, the sophomore from Virginia, they call him Rosie. Kapono Faye back to serve. The senior from Honolulu. Great serve, Sykes. This one high for Langlois. Past the triple block. And that's something that has been the difference for BYU the last 2 seasons, is you've had these pin hitters who can bail you out of system sets.
Right.
Or serve receives like that.
Sure, and that's the thing. I mean, sometimes those pin hitters are dubbed the, the garbage man or the cleanup crew, because they've got to deal with sets like that. Great job there by the 6'10" Jake Langlois, high off the block.
Langlois' first kill of the night. That's Joe Grosh. Rosie gets it in. Brett Rosenmeyer, 12-11. You look at the roster for Hawaii. Typically, you're saying, okay, how many Hawaiians have? Ton of foreigners, ton of guys from all over the country, like Rosenmeyer, Virginia, of course California in there, Pennsylvania on the roster, Illinois. So Charlie Wade has scoured the world. For this one is the Norwegian Hendrik Molser, that one. Brendan Sander, perfect placement over the triple block as they loaded up on the big.
Such a great job visually being able to see the court, because there was nobody anywhere near that tip. If you watch, he tries to take a couple steps, but yeah, look how deep he is. Great play there by Brendan Sander.
Sander 5 for 5 and led BYU on that nice run from the service line, so he's having a great match. Franciskovic, one-handed set again.
Nice job by BYU,
Durkin,
staying patient.
Sander gets it in. That one called out. Called in by one line judge, but had the distance, but it was in fact out. As one is watching one line, the other is watching the other. Yeah. So Sanders' first swing without a kill there.
Yeah, he had the open net too. That's just a bummer. Just kind of hit it off his thumb, probably out of bounds.
Stein Van Tilburg, who has taken his game to another level this season, sophomore opposite, and that one off the head of Jake Langlois.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for that ball to drop, and it never did. That ball's going to go well out of bounds, but he wasn't able to get out of the way.
14-12, look out. When you're 6'10", there's more to get out of the way of. As Van Tilburg gets the first ace of the match and a 2-point advantage for Hawaii. And when that's Sykes, Durkin way out again. Langlois off hands. Jake Langlois with his second kill in 5 swings.
Dude, that ball almost set that ball almost to the antenna. Jake gets up there and hammers it right past it and off the hands. Big kill there for BYU.
BYU's been out of system quite a few times in this first set, but Jake Langlois, Brendan Sander combining for 7 kills on 11 swings in the early goings here. Hawaii 14, BYU 13. Good serve, handled by Faye. Rosenmeyer just into the net. We're tied at 14.
Wow, one-on-one out there on the big or on the antenna, and just hits that ball straight into the net.
Rosenmeyer, last year, kind of buried. He was behind Siki Zarkovic and Austin Maltatia. Been able to find a place on this team and contribute in a great way. Tuileta, Franciskovic, high for Van Tilburg. The BYU into the net. Jauhiainen. Timeout on the court, 15-14. Hawaii bringing it in the first set, tied up at 14. We'll be back in a moment. Match with so many impressive streaks thus far on the season. You talk about 15 matches won in a row, 32 sets in a row, Steve. That's a program record. The win streak is third longest. 19 straight home wins, which is crazy. And then 10 straight wins in league. This is the hottest team in America right now.
Yeah, these guys are playing extremely well. But one thing we didn't mention, the one loss they did have was the only other team that's probably in the same breath as BYU, and that's Long Beach, who's #1 in the conference right now, which I should mention.
They lost both to Long Beach State.
Right, so those are their only losses, a team that's kind of BYU's caliber, so we'll see how it goes this weekend.
That's exactly right. Of course, Ohio State was #1, won 42 matches in a row. They lost last week to UC Irvine.
Yeah.
So now the new #1 is Long Beach State. I still think Ohio State's the best team. They've only lost once. Long Beach State has lost twice. BYU in the mix, Hawaii in the mix. Those are probably 4 NCAA tournament teams right there. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
15's on the service here. Really low set for Von Tilburg. No problem. Spatched it off of Grosh.
Dude, Stein's just getting it done. No wonder that guy's got probably about 500 attempts so far in the year.
For more on Stein Von Tilburg from Amsterdam, let's check in with Lauren.
Coach Wade told me that last year Von Tilburg got worn out toward the middle of the season because setter Jennings Franciskovic was going to him so often because Hawaii didn't have a ton of depth because of injuries, so he struggled there for a little bit. But he got stronger in the offseason, got after it in the weight room, and he worked very hard and got better in every phase of the game. Jerem.
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, he's looked impressive. His BYU triple blocks right there. And Von Tilburg, actually, before the season, didn't think he was going to play a lot because 6'9" freshman Rado Parapunov from Bulgaria is a beast and is waiting in the wings, but Von Tilburg actually took his game up to another level. He's the guy.
Yeah, I was watching the backup opposite there in warm-ups. I'm like, that's the backup? That guy's huge.
16s in set 1. Blocked again by Grosh, but out. Grosh thought that was in. I should mention this. At Hawaii, when they play matches and they're on TV, which is a lot, they have 3 instant replays that they can go to. They can check the monitor, right?
Wow.
Still not in play in men's volleyball just about everywhere but Hawaii that I'm aware of. So in a play like that, you could appeal that and review it.
I did not know that.
Langlois is blocked by Faye and Mole at the net, and it's 18-16 Hawaii. Getting late here in set number 1. Remember, the Warriors have won 32 sets in a row.
Nice help there from Mole. He's trying to go hard angle. It just was not open. Just wishing he should have gone down the line that time.
Langlois, 2 kills, 2 errors on 6 swings. Franciskovic into the net. 18-17 Hawaii. Remember last year, BYU had its own set streak going. 35 straight sets. Guess who snapped that streak? The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, right? That happened.
You didn't let me guess, dude. I was totally going to go there.
It was a rhetorical question, Steve.
Oh, there you go then.
Brendan Sander fueled BYU to a nice run his first time up. Tuileta.
Great pass.
Nice serve receive. Van Tilburg's blocked by Grosh. Tuileta. Franciskovic. That one's blocked but out. And gets Sander off the line for BYU. That's a big play here in set one. 19-17 Hawaii.
That was a pretty nice serve there by Brennan as well. But Hawaii just going to the floor to make that play. Tuileta.
He's all over the place. It's hard to get it by Larry Tuileta. Kapono. Faye.
Oh,
that one is going out. Langlois. Make sure BYU gets the point. 19-18. Langlois with 3 kills. Our scoreboard sponsor is Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment throughout the western United States for over 65 years. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. As you look at Sean Olmstead on the bench, next to Luca Slabe, Jalen Reyes as well for the BYU coaching staff. Cougars down 1 here at home. Reyes, a native of Hawaii, on this staff, as that one's into the net from the Hawaiian, Will Stanley.
Yeah, that just was not a good toss, not a good contact.
You'd think there'd be some nerves for Stanley as well, playing the home state, Hawaii. 5 service errors now for BYU, and Hawaii the first to 20. When you're the first to 20, you have a really good chance, something like 80+% to win any given set.
Yeah.
Montaltia off the bench. And that one's out, but not by far. For Austin, who's been a starter at times, some good depth. Charlie Wade said, we've got some guys on the bench that could be start for a lot of teams in the MPSF.
Guaranteed, yeah.
And the culture has been fantastic at Hawaii. Remember 2 years ago, this was the #1 team in the country, NCAA tournament team. Here they are 2 years later, back in the mix again, looking like they'll be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they're playing some dang good volleyball.
Durkin,
sure.
tough set there.
Whoa, what in the world?
Point Hawaii, as BYU got the block in, but Yauhiainen hit the antenna before the ball hit the ground.
How was that even?
I thought that ball was
had to have
in.
been Ben, or
oh, it was Langlois with his elbow.
I think Yauhiainen probably knocked him into it.
Yauhiainen has been a little tight on a few of these this year where he kind of bumps the guy. I think Langlois just
climbed the ladder right there.
That. Antenna, the candy cane back in place. But the point went to Hawaii on that.
Yeah.
Whether it goes out or not, BYU blasting into the net.
Right.
21-19. That could have tied the game. Timeout BYU. Sean Olmstead needs to chat about it. The Warriors trying to keep this set streak alive and start this match right. Sean Olmstead trying to fix things. Down 2 in set 1. Shot of Provo. Big time of year as BYU hosts Hawaii. They host Long Beach State. Next week, the #1 team in the country coming in town. Then BYU's at UC Santa Barbara. Then it's the MPSF quarterfinals, the semifinal and final the next week, then a week off, and then the NCAA tournament. I'd imagine that both these teams will be in it. 21-19. Von Tilburg serves it out, 21-20. Hawaii up here late in set 1, riding a 32-set win streak.
BYU choosing to get the freebie from the timeout. Closing it within 1. See if Jay can get some of that serve going.
Tuileta.
Nice, but he keeps going with the wrong guy.
Yes. Blocked. Tuileta calls for it. Back to Von Tilburg. And Von Tilburg hits it out. 2 straight errors from Von Tilburg, and we're tied at 21. Timeout, Charlie Wade in Hawaii.
Nice move by Tim Daubert. A little bit of a ninja move there to get out of the way of that.
Another 6'10" guy getting out of the way. I'm impressed by the flexibility of these guys. Probably doing a lot of hot yoga or something. As Wade's talking with his setter, Jennings Franciscovich, who was a little ill recently. In fact, was diagnosed with strep throat, but never actually felt that sick because he had people around him that were feeling sick. He went to the ER or the doctor and said, hey, people around me are having strep. Can I get tested? They tested him. They took care of him early, and he never actually got sick enough to miss anything. Pretty smart, right? Our next broadcast is tomorrow at 3 Eastern time. It's baseball against Connecticut. Game 3 of the series. Currently, BYU playing Connecticut, tied in the 5th. Connecticut up 3-2 in Game 2. Game 3 tomorrow, 3 Eastern time. UConn and BYU in baseball. Live right here on BYUtv. And then later tomorrow night, we'll be back with Game 2 between Hawaii and BYU men's volleyball at 9 Eastern time. So a twofer on BYUtv coming up tomorrow. Exciting time for BYU men's volleyball because #1 Long Beach State in town next week. We've been looking forward to these set of matches for a while now.
Had a month to think about it. Yeah, darn, it's like Christmas morning already.
BYU's been on the road quite a bit, took care of business at Pepperdine, at Stanford, at Cal Baptist here at home for one. So we should explain both these matches and next week do count for MPSF conference matches. Here's the coaches poll. Long Beach State, the new #1. Ohio State's been #1 all season, but not by much. Look at the first place vote.
Oh, that's a nice serve.
Over pass from Kapono Faye. Daubert. And that one goes out. 3 in a row from BYU, and the Cougars lead it 22-21. What a serve from Jake Langlois out of the timeout.
It was just a little roll shot over the top of the net. And Eric Seid traveled the entire court to pass that free ball and did a pretty nice job. Low set, but Daubert goes off the block for the kill. So that was going out.
Pounds it. Rosenmeyer keeps it up. Von Tilburg through the block. Ties it at 22.
I think Brennan kind of set that block up a little bit further outside than he needed to, giving Von Tilburg a little too much angle there to work with.
Team high 5 kills as Rosie, as they call him, will come out, and Rado Parapunov, the freshman from Bulgaria, will come into the match. He has 6 aces on the season. He's the backup to Von Tilburg. He's 6'9", and a future baller as Hawaii makes some noise. Off the tape.
And he's left-handed.
Sander, off hands, Von Tilburg caught it. One set up, BYU wanted double contact, doesn't matter. BYU blocked it, 23-22. Sean Olmstead up off the bench, really mad he didn't get that call.
Why have you still not blown your whistle yet? That was horrible. That was bad, it wasn't great. I think the definition is an athletic move, which I kind of guess that was.
There's a lot of gray area if that's the definition.
Yes, there is.
Miki Yauhiainen back to serve for BYU, up 23-22 here in set 1. Hawaii's won 15 matches in a row, BYU 11. Battle of the Titans here tonight in Provo. Yauhiainen, cross court at Rosenmeyer. Faye, off of Daubert and out, tied at 23.
Daubert wants that one back. He seemed like he was up in the right spot, the right time, just got tooled out of bounds. 4th
kill for Kupono Faye. One of 4 seniors, 3 play a lot.
Here comes the tight end.
Yep, here's Patrick Gassman, standing jump float. Set point, 24-23, and these fans rise to their feet. This is another packed house here tonight in the Smith Fieldhouse. 2 of the best teams with home attendance, by the way. Timeout Hawaii, the Stan Sheriff Center, a great place to watch a match. The Smith Fieldhouse, incredible as well. Both these teams, top 2 in the nation in attendance. Hawaii 1, BYU 2. Another look at the nice distribution up the middle.
This is such a nice play, too. See how far away he is from the setter, Joseph Grosh. Look at that, the blocker's nowhere near. He needs to be following the hitter, not the setter. And boy, there's nobody on the net.
And look at Hendrik Moll's hand. He has tape bridging between the thumb and the pointer finger.
His thumb bent back, probably sprained it to the point where he's got to do that, or else it's because a thumb, man, thumbs are the worst. I still have sore thumbs, and it's been forever since I've even played. You get those things in trouble, and it's really hard to come back from.
It was a busy week in the MPSF as UC Irvine has not only defeated BYU here in Provo, only team to do that, but they took down Ohio State, ending the 42-match win streak for the defending national championship Buckeyes. Thomas Hodges, the player of the week, the transfer from Pacific, and 3 teams have already clinched tournament bids, the 2 teams here tonight and Long Beach State. If BYU wins tonight, the Cougars clinch a home quarterfinal. BYU still, of course, in the mix and Hawaii and Long Beach State to all be the #1 seed going into the tournament. If BYU can hold serve at home and take maybe even just 3 or 4, not win all 4, or even split and win some tiebreakers, BYU could be the #1 team going into the tournament. And that team hosts after the quarterfinals, the semis, and final. So a big setup here this week and next week.
And that was kind of what I was alluding to early on when we were talking about how with the #1 and #3 teams this week and next, this is the time to be healthy and hot to be able to host that MPSF tournament.
Fans on their feet, set point, Daubert served it out. We're tied at 24. He went for the location on the corner of the plate, if you will, and it was out.
Just out of bounds, just a bit outside.
Sixth service error for BYU. Another look. Just how far out?
Ooh.
Not much. Jennings Franciscovich tied at 24. Into the net.
There's
point
a
number
little bit
2.
of nerves so far. I think both teams are feeling it.
Hawaii is used to playing in front of big crowds. Not on the road, but at home.
And
they
not
played
at this elevation.
15 of their 22 at home. This is just the 8th match on the road for the Warriors. Brendan Sander. Out. And way out.
Not a good toss at all. Decided to get after it anyway. And wishes he could have that toss back.
7th error for the Cougars. 6 for Hawaii as Charlie Wade looks on. 25s. Another overtime set for BYU at home. It's felt like there's been a lot of those this year. Langlois, Durkin, high for Daubert. Daubert is blocked. And then Grosh pushes it over.
No. They're trying to say he was over the net. That ball was on the plane. And such a smart job by Grosh to not try to hammer this ball, because he would have netted for sure. See, watch this ball. It's right there on the plane, and that's totally legal to contact. Heads up play by Grosh to not just net on that. Very easy to do.
Don't create any late set controversy with Hawaii. You'll bring up memories of 2013. We'll address that later in the MPSF quarterfinal. My goodness. Set point number 3 for BYU. Grosh.
Tough serve.
Franciscovich, Von Tilburg, off of hands and down. Hawaii has answered the call 3 times.
Dude, Stein, the answer. Automatic.
Van Tilburg with a match high 6 kills, hitting 500 in set 1. Milan Zarkovic on the bench, IDs to Hendrik Moll right away. Go after this guy. Back row to Sander, and it was in. Set point number 4 for BYU. Sander with his 6th kill. 27-26. Fans on their feet for an extended amount of time here in the Smith Fieldhouse.
Watching Hawaii warm up, they're so scrappy. Guys are just bombing, and they're just one hand here or there, popping it up perfectly.
Durkin.
Very hard to put these guys down.
Zarkovic, Von Tilburg, blocked. Daubert, BYU with the swing for the set. Langlois, off hands and down! And the set streak is over for Hawaii. 32 in a row, and it's over. BYU wins set 1, 28-26. What a set from these two. Hawaii answered the call multiple times, but now BYU is up 1-0.
Watch this, how smart this hit is. He does not hammer that as hard as he can. He just goes off the block lightly, and the ball just drops. Nobody home for Hawaii.
How long has it been since Hawaii felt this? February 4th.
Wow.
How about that? BYU wins an extra set, 28-26. Hawaii was up 20-18. The Cougars made plays at the end. BYU up 1-0, 28-26. The Smith Fieldhouse crowd on their feet, and we have got a good one tonight. Hawaii came to play, BYU came to play. Buckle up. BYU takes set 1 on BYUtv. What a set number 1. Both teams cooled off quite a bit. BYU hit 462, Steve, and made some really clutch plays down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing that set justice saying another good one. That thing was amazing. That was some fun volleyball. Both sides of the net were just getting it done. BYU holding Hawaii to a 250 hitting percentage. That's kind of rare. The digs were fairly close. The blocks were fairly close. I really think it's all about BYU just getting it done offensively.
Let's go inside the play. BYU with some nice selection in the middle of the court.
Absolutely. They're doing a great job keeping the Hawaii block guessing. And then here at BYU blocking, they see that ball going back again, and they do a great job closing that gap. Out of the block there from Grosh. You got to hit it at least 3 times to have that kind of placement. And this time they lose Daubert a little bit. Block's kind of staying home to see where that set goes, and they forgot about the D ball coming from Tim Daubert. Off the hands and out of bounds. And look at this one. I love that play that he called. We always called that a 3, which is an off 1, way away from the blocker. Nobody on the net for Grosh. He just hammers it straight down.
Hawaii's program record 32 set win streak is over. BYU's up 1-0. Hawaii's won 15 matches in a row. That's still intact. BYU's won 11. Here we go. Set 2. The Cougars up 1-0. Franciscovich with a diving dig. Von Tilburg dug up by Langlois. Durkin high for Daubert on the right side. Off hands.
Whoa, look at that.
What a dig by Rosie. Triple block off hands. Durkin, back row, Langlois, the cutter, and that one went down. 1-0 BYU.
Look at that, Jake Langlois with the Ginsu. Look at that dig. Laying out one hand, and then look at that little cutty. Wow, it's a nice play there.
This is some high-level stuff.
Absolutely.
This could be the MPSF semifinal or final matchup. This could be an NCAA semifinal or final matchup as well. I mean, these two teams could play a couple matches here later on.
Nice up. Oh, you got to reward him. Go back
to pulls it left-handed off the block. 2 in a row for Jake. 2-0 BYU.
Talk about the volleyball IQ. Guys only played for 2 or 3 years is all. Not his entire life. Just a couple of years was a golf player. And look at the volleyball IQ. Just finding the hands and wiping it out of bounds. Beautiful play there by Langlois.
Brendan Sander. Good toss this time.
Had a great toss. Handled pretty well.
Fay. Wasn't his best approach. Von Tilburg. Sykes with the dig. Langlois over the triple block. Easy dig for Franciscovich. Fay off the block and
nice
down. 2-1.
Well.
Hawaii's on the board in set 2. Fay with 4 kills. Second on Hawaii.
Tool me, will ya? Yeah, right back at ya. Nice
Hawaii's
play.
only lost 2 matches all season. First team to 20 wins. The 2 are to Long Beach State, who's #1 in the conference right now. Playing BYU here tonight. Big matches for both these squads in terms of seeding implication, not just in the MPSF, but the NCAA tournament as well. Sykes, Durkin, dumped it. Hawaii into the net. That one went out of bounds anyway, off of Hawaii. Hawaii saying we didn't touch it and we didn't touch the net. It's going to be point BYU.
Yeah, I don't know if we get a
no
chance
appeal
to
from
see
Charlie
that
Wade
again,
there.
Yeah, apparently somebody got it.
Durkin dumped off the block, out of bounds anyways.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, the last Hawaii set loss, not a match, set, February 4th.
Of this year.
Been a long time.
Just kidding. Right, that was a long time ago.
This year. So last year, BYU had this 35 set win streak snapped by Hawaii, and now BYU snaps Hawaii's 32 set win streak. So next year, BYU will go on a 30-something set win streak, and then Hawaii will snap that.
It'll be their turn.
Yeah.
Well, we're all looking forward to that.
3-2 BYU. Hendrik Moll. That was a knuckleball
weird.
that Tim Wakefield would be proud of.
I think he hit the mascot.
Hendrik Moll hit that one out. 4-2, BYU set number 2. Leo Durkin, junior setter from Vegas. Dad played here back in the day at club. Durkin with the perfect set.
Smart play.
Or serve, rather.
Set that ball up.
Daubert, block, setter out. Here's Sykes.
Look at that
Bump set to Langlois, nice and high for Langlois, and he puts it away. 5-2, a nice start for the Cougars in set 2.
Jake, off the bump set goes OTT, over the top. Watch how big this swing is. Over the top. Why even have a block up? Just play on the 10-foot line. Sorry, 3-meter line. Just 6 defenders.
And mild emotion from Langlois. And if you can get it past Tuileta in some form, that's a good hit.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal hit.
Tremendous libero. Rosenmeyer out.
No.
6-2 BYU to start set 2.
Line judge was about to call a touch, but then decided, nope, I didn't see anything.
That was just a hair too quick for everybody.
It was. I'm still
including the BYU block and us.
I don't think the camera caught that. Dang it.
6-2, Durkin again. This time goes to the other side.
Call a fast
for
offense.
a serve. Watch this. And that one's into the net. Let's check in with Lauren Frank for more on the BYU serve.
I heard BYU's assistant coach Lucas Slave telling his team that in the second set they are not going to win it with aces. They're going to win it with smart, well-placed serves. Jerem.
Thank you, Lauren. That one by Leo was good. The last one into the net. It's 6-3. BYU here in set number 2, up 1-0. Back row to Sander, and he spatched it out. no touch, 2 in a row from Hawaii. The deficit is 2.
It's weird. He didn't seem like he got underneath that ball, but his contact absolutely is what that happened there.
Sanders, 2 errors on the night. Bix, where he had open lanes.
Yeah,
interesting. Yes, he's 6 for 9 now. 2 errors.
Yeah, that's just strange.
Von Tilburg,
Nice serve.
great serve, great pass. Jake Langlois wipes it off the block yet again. 7-4. Langlois with 8 kills in the match. He goes 1v1 with Brett Rosenmeyer. Rosie maybe has the nickname because of the Rosie line too. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I bet he's got a pretty gnarly one.
Oh, off of 2
got
for
him.
Langlois. You won't see that very often. 8-4. And Ace Man, wow, he's upgraded with his printer. Those are much larger than they used to be.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he declares with the large ace, and then he lays down the 8x11.
He's up in his game.
He had to
man.
go to Kinko's for that other one. The other one he could do at home. Langlois again, and then another ace.
Oh, my. Wait. Was that?
I thought
it must have gone inside the antenna and then outside.
It did not. I don't know why that's out of bounds, but it is. No appeal from Hawaii, and back-to-back aces. Put a bandage on it. Jake Langlois bringing it. 9-4. Ace Man is busy in set 2, and the Cougars are up 5. The MPSF and the Big West are going to split. Next year, the Big West will add volleyball. So what does this mean? Hawaii, Long Beach State, UC San Diego, Santa Barbara, CSUN, UC Irvine. They're in the Big West. The MPSF will add Concordia, who beat UC Santa Barbara this week, by the way, and Grand Canyon out of Phoenix. It'll be a new-look conference, not only for BYU, but Hawaii. They won't be in the same conference, but I imagine they'll continue to still play. BYU will still schedule.
Well, who doesn't want to make that trip?
Exactly. And that's a tough place to play, too. You could choose to avoid that if you wanted, but the resume for Hawaii, they've never won a regular season or tournament title in the league since '93, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Been to the tournament finals 3 times, 4 NCAA tournaments, 2 Players of the Year, 1 MPSF Coach of the Year. They were number 1 2 years ago. BYU beat them twice when they were that. So Hawaii feeling good about what they've been able to do recently, and next year it's going to be different.
Yeah, that's rough that the coach got Coach of the Year and they didn't win. So whoever won the title that year was probably pretty upset that coach didn't get the nod on that.
Well, there was a national championship that was later vacated at Hawaii as well.
Gotcha.
9-5. That one served out. Pegs the line judge from the foot. Back-to-back errors. 10-5. BYU. A 5-point lead at any point in this match is quite something between these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were just knotted up the entire first set. BYU, the pretty big lead so far in set number 2.
Miki Auhiainen, Finn.
Oh, trouble.
And Mautotia, and a free ball bump from Kupono-Fei. Durkin, Sander, off hands,
That's
dug
the
up.
scrappiness right there.
Tui Lena, he's all over the place. That one's into the net by Fei.
Yeah.
And it's 12-5. How about this in set 2?
Yeah, Fei tried to argue that for about
Make
a half a second.
11-5.
And yeah, that was clearly off the hitter, straight to the antenna. And just so you know, I had to look it up because I didn't know, but on their jersey, that is the Hawaiian state flag. For a half a second, I thought, is that the Britain state flag? Like, why?
Huge fans of Great Britain.
Yeah, right? I'm like, wait a second.
Von Tilburg down the line. He has not been set a ton recently. It's been tough with BYU serve to get him the rock, but 14th swing, 7 kills, Von Tilburg.
Yeah, that's the difficulty right there. You got to be able to stay in system. Otherwise, you just chuck a ball out to him. You got 3 blockers up, and then it's a lot more difficult to
This
side
is
out.
3rd swing in this set. Sander hung in the air to be able to get to that Franciscovich.
Yeah, way early.
Free ball. Sykes, Durkin. Sander. Gassman with the bump set. And Kupono-Fei off hands. Langlois. Daubert really low for Daubert. Never had a chance. That was tough. 11-7. The lead down to 4.
You got a half of a one-step approach there to try to get anything on that ball and just straight sideways swing out of bounds.
I thought Durkin was going to go outside or Bick there. Daubert was in a tough spot there.
Yeah, for real.
Langlois lets it go, and it goes out.
I think both passers were looking at the other to pass that. I don't think they even tried to let that go. But they'll take it.
9th service error for Hawaii.
This is BYU's version of a tight end right here. Tim Daubert back to serve.
Charlie Wade yelling instructions to his team. 12-7 Brigham. Set 2. Tim Daubert. High toss out in front. Off the cable. Franciscovich blocked by Grosh on the dump attempt. Kapono Faye pounds it down the line. 12-8. Hawaii trying to chip into this BYU lead.
Joseph trying to do a good job there to keep that ball in play, but there's a big swing down the line. Right past Leo. His own rosy line.
Faye with 5 kills on 14 swings. 12-8 BYU, Franciscovich. Langlois. Durkin outside the 3-meter line. High for Sander, and Sander gets the kill. Brendan Sander with 7 kills on 13 swings, having a tremendous match. He and Langlois both hitting north of 350.
He's had a couple of miscues tonight, but yeah, those are some big numbers there for Brennan. You talk about that distribution. That set's going all over the court there, and he's doing a great job with the ones he's getting.
BYU by 5, set 2, won the first set 28-26. Hendrik Mole thumps it. And Mole is an interesting story. He got an infection in his left eye last season, missed a full month, was flown to the UCLA Medical Center, could have potentially lost his sight in the eye. They took care of business. They had to discuss whether he should even play volleyball. So he wears the prescription protective glasses to protect that eye.
Wow.
Jake Langlois, roll shot for the kill. So really impressive what Hendrik Mole is able to do on that side. And he's been one of those leaders, one of the 4 seniors. He's from Norway, another one of those international guys.
So he has total vision? He didn't lose any?
I think he has, if I understood correctly from Charlie Wade, it's not full vision in that left eye.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah,
he said he's been basically playing with one eye.
Crazy.
Franciscovich, Mole again!
Wow. That's a nice piece of setting right there.
I think we know who the Mole is, Steve.
Look at that, nobody up. Daubert's like, hey, stop shooting at me.
And Mole was an opposite. He has transitioned to be this undersized middle, but nothing undersized about those swings.
Yeah, well, you don't want to wait in that line to be an opposite. There's some pretty big dudes in front of you.
Sander inside the block, the triple block, 15-10 for the kill. BYU still up 5. Hawaii been able to shave it down to 4, but not been able to get it less than that.
That was kind of an anticlimactic swing there from Brendan, but yeah, a kill's a kill.
Normally the Bic is very exciting.
Yeah, that was like
a boring kill.
It kind of was. It was just
the pipe.
Just kind of underneath the block and down the middle of their chest, and the point.
Sander 8 kills. Off the tape, Gassman, Franciscovich.
That was a deep set.
And it was low. That's happened a couple times where BYU has been able to catch Hawaii in a place where the serve receive is too quick and the approach is not there, and it's an error, and now it's 16-10.
That was a deep dish for sure. That was almost to the belly button when he set that ball.
That was Chicago-esque. 16-10, Soupy. Gassman, feed the middle if you're the Rainbow Warriors right now.
And maybe block a cross body, because 3 kills in a row have been a cross body straight down.
When Hawaii can serve receive regularly, they've been pretty good. 16-11 is Gassman, the redshirt freshman. He's going to be a handful in the middle for a long time. Here's Von Tilburg, the Hawaii bench clapping. That's what they do in the Stan Serif Center. The entire crowd provides that kind of rhythm. Langlois off the tape. Excuse me, off the antenna. 16-12 on the error. BYU up 4 here in set 2. If you're just joining us, BYU won the first set 28-26, snapping a 32-set win streak for Hawaii. Von Tilburg, 7 kills tonight, does have an ace. That's Sander. Good pass to Durkin. Langlois.
There it is.
Didn't hit the antenna.
Jake
17-12.
On his last
10 kills.
attempt, tried to tool the antenna, as maybe he doesn't know that that's illegal. But on that play there, off the top of the block and down.
Mount Tautia has played this second set at outside hitter. Got a hand on it there. 10 kills, match high for Jake Langlois.
Yeah, hitting .438.
Overpass, Sander, kill. 18-12, BYU hunting in set 2 as Sanders' family looks on. Timeout Hawaii. BYU up 6 in set 2. Everything going right for the Cougars at home, hosting 4th-ranked Hawaii. We'll be back in a moment on BYUtv. 18-12 in set 2. What's been the difference for the Cougars in this one?
Well, they've cooled off just a little bit as far as their hitting percentage. They were .462 in set 1. They're only .350. However, they've gotten Hawaii down to .176. So I think, but it's weird. Neither team has a block in this second set. So
Tilbert got touched out of the timeout. Why is Hawaii struggling offensively?
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit before. BYU has done a good job getting them out of system. And so when that's the case, they got to chuck the higher ball out to the pin, and you've got 2 or 3 blockers up every time. And BYU, they might not be leading the conference in blocks, but they're pretty darn good.
Hawaii, in fact, is the leader in blocks in the conference. Sander, 19-13.
Detaches the shoulder to go hard angle.
Grandpa loves it. High fives his wife. They are from New Zealand. They're Maoris. Brendan, his mother Kara is Maori, dad Caucasian. So he's got some. There's his mom, Kara.
Yeah.
He's got some Maori blood in there. He's a warrior himself.
Such an amazing family. Good people.
Gassman blocked.
Tried to go across body again. BYU finally on it.
Blocked again. 20-13.
It's all going BYU's way right now.
The door swung wide open in set 2. So Hawaii, the streak ends in set 1, and Charlie Wade looks on, trying to get his team to prepare itself for set 3, you'd think, as BYU's just 5 points away, up 7. Not over, but close. Here in set 2.
BYU for sure in the driver's seat right now for set number 2.
BYU out blocking the conference leader by 2.5 in blocks. Oh. And Sander hits that one into Durkin. You just want everyone to be okay.
Yeah.
Up 7. A month and a half left in the season.
Yeah, they got 2 touches on that. Here's the quick. Yeah, here, set that. I don't want to set it. You broke my nose.
There's been a couple of not top 10 kind of bounces tonight for BYU. 20-14. Off the bench, backup setter Joe Worsley. Sophomore from Moraga.
Oh!
Ace. And
nice
the lead
job.
Down to 5.
Hawaii trying very hard not to be done in the second set. It's a nice hubby wife right there.
They heard me infer it's over. We're close thereof.
That's a spot right there, right in between.
Worsley was celebrating before he even landed. Watch this. He knew it. Joe Worsley off the bench gets the ace.
That's awesome.
BYU with 2 aces, Hawaii with 2 aces now. BYU calls the timeout, 20-15. And this is one of the funny things. So in no other sport do you have this where the guys that aren't in the game, they're peppering, right, during a timeout. So they have no clue what the discussion is strategically in the timeout. No. Yet they could come in. Can you imagine in basketball during a timeout, the other players are shooting threes?
Yeah, this is the time where, okay, we're going to run this play right now. And then all of a sudden they sub a guy and he's like, hey, what's going on?
What's the play? I was playing catch out on the field.
Yeah, I don't understand.
That always makes me laugh in volleyball, that they're totally uninvolved in the timeout. What are we doing? I don't know. I was peppering. Use the hashtag BYUtv Sports if you want to join the conversation. At UH_BB_fan_2 says, why is Norm McDonald commenting the Hawaii men's volleyball versus BYU match?
Norm's got skills, that's why.
You actually get that a lot, which is funny.
I do.
If the MPSF tournament started today, here's what the seeding would be. Still 3 weeks left in the regular season, but here's what it would look like. Long Beach State would be the one. They'd play Santa Barbara. Irvine, UCLA would be a heck of a 4-5 matchup. Hawaii would host Stanford, and BYU would play CSUN. So these 2 teams, I'm telling you, this weekend is not the last time these 2 teams will play, in my opinion.
I don't think that is either.
The MPSF tournament or the NCAA tournament. There could be a lot of matchups here.
So one thing you mentioned, though, their one loss was to Long Beach away. So, and this, we're not done by any means, but they're possibly going to be down 2 sets here unless they make a pretty gnarly run.
Daubert over the top, pancaked up. Worsley comes into the match and makes the play, and Daubert blocks it. 21-15. We do want to mention this. In set 3, we will reveal for the first time off the blocks bracketology for the tournament, so that's coming up. Worsley brought his griddle to Provo.
Yeah, nice job. That ball might have gotten touched by Daubert. It was pretty close. But he'll take the stat.
21-15. Tim Daubert back to serve. Cougars up 1-0.
Wow, that was a blistering serve there by Daubert.
Leo Durkin with the block, 22-15. If you're Hawaii, you just flush this set down the toilet, man. It's been straight garbage. BYU up 7.
Stop being so fluffy and just say it how it is.
This is a Hawaii team that's won all 15 matches at home, has had this incredible win streak. Their only 2 losses are on the road, but it's at Long Beach State, who is a fantastic team, the #1 team, in fact.
Right.
And now they're playing BYU #3 as Daubert sends that out. This was a litmus test to kind of feel out, okay, where's BYU at without Patch, who's been on fire, but they haven't played a team the caliber of Hawaii kind of recently. It's been a little bit.
Not to mention Price Jarman, starting middle, also out right now. But yeah, that's the thing. Both these teams are pretty deep, and so you got marquee players that are out.
And that one's outside the antenna, so that one's out. It's got to come inside, back onto the court.
Yeah, got to go out inside and back in inside, right? Is that the deal? Or maybe just, I think
it's got to come on the in. It's got to come back into play. If it's out, if it's on the right side from that angle,
yeah,
it is out, and that is what has happened a couple times.
Gotcha.
23-16. Brendan Sander can go after it with his might, and he did.
And he did.
23-17. I'm interested to see how Hawaii responds coming up in set 3. They haven't trailed 2-0 in a long time. They haven't lost set in a long time, February 4th, like we mentioned. But this is a veteran team, 4 seniors. Capona Faye.
Nice pass from Jake.
Grosh, too soft, and Von Tilburg was right there. So you got a dude from the Netherlands and Norway connecting on the block at the net for Hawaii. I love it.
Soft can be a good thing, but that's too low. And he's all over that. Pounded it straight down.
23-18.
You're up above him and you go soft. Yeah.
Capona Faye, the native son of Hawaii. Durkin, Langlois, the tip. Langlois changeups have been dynamite tonight. Set point.
Yeah, I don't think he's missed one tonight. Half of his kills have been tough shots off the block or little tips or rolls or cut shots. Yeah, he's using all of it tonight.
11 kills, a match high for Jake Langlois. Fans on their feet. Another native son of Hawaii. Clay Stanley's younger brother, Will, into the match. Had an error in set 1. Gets after it. Tuileta. Nice pass. Now Tautia's blocked. Yauhiainen wants a piece and gets it. And BYU is up 2-0 on Hawaii. What a performance by the Cougars in this big crowd here tonight to start.
25-18. Yeah, Hawaii's got to be reeling from that set. So like you said, I'd be curious to be a fly on the wall in that locker room to see what Charlie Wade has to say to his guys to get them pumped up for set number 3.
BYU wins the first set by 2, the second set by 7. Lauren Frankham is with BYU coach Sean Olmstead.
Coach, defensively, you're holding Hawaii to under 100 right now. What are you doing to keep them out of system?
Yeah, I like the pressure from the service line. I think we got to be a little smarter with our misses. Just if the toss isn't there for these guys, I'd like to keep it on the opponents instead of trying to go for something, extraordinary in that moment, and then just you'll get a chance again. And so I wish we were a little better there, but we're making good touches. I think our coaches have put together a great plan defensively, and so we're pretty aware of what's going on out there.
Offensively, what's sticking out to you from your team?
Yeah, our pin hitters, I'd like to get our middles a little more involved, but our pin hitters have carried a pretty heavy load, and so it'd be nice to get our middles going a little more so they can open things up a little bit more.
Good luck, Coach. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Sean Olmstead's right. 44 of these swings of the 52 to the 3 pin hitters as BYU's up 2 sets to none. 28-26, 25-18. Hawaii has only lost the first 2 sets in one other match all year. BYU up 2-0. We'll be back with stats and highlights from the first 2 coming up. Number 4, Hawaii. Number 3, BYU. 2 sets in the books. BYU up 2 sets to none. 28-26, 25-18. We thought there'd be some good high-level volleyball, and there has been tonight. I'm interested to see how Hawaii responds here in set number 3. The standings look like this. Long Beach State out in front at 13-1. BYU also just with 1 conference loss. They haven't played as many matches. Hawaii a game back of BYU. Those 3 in the clear driver's seat for not only one team of the auto bid, but the other 2 as at-large coming up later in set 3. We'll show you the off-the-block bracketology. Who's in, who's out for the 6-team NCAA tournament. Jake Langlois has brought it tonight. 11 kills, 2 aces, 3 digs, and a block hitting .471. How about Jake?
You talked about him carrying the brunt of the load with Jake being gone. He's absolutely done that. And you'll see he's like hitting the cycle tonight. He's got pretty much everything going his way, and he's just getting it done from everywhere on the court. Tips and roll shots and hammers. The only thing he hasn't done so far is that rosy line straight down into the cheap seats. So maybe he does that, he'll hit the cycle.
Langlois has carried the load. No Ben Patch. Again, if you're just joining us for BYU, 9th straight match. Groin injury, trying to get him healthy. And 11 kills for Jake, who's led the Cougars in kills the last 8 matches. In fact, BYU's played 9 matches this season without Ben Patch. They're 9-0. That talks to the depth and play of not only Langlois but Sander, but Tim Dobbert as well.
Yeah, the one thing I'm thinking about is when Ben comes back, how healthy is he going to be? What kind of shape is he going to be in sitting for the past couple of months? If they get him back for Santa Barbara, maybe, he'll have a chance to go against a team that's maybe not as high in the rankings as Hawaii or Long Beach, to be able to get his feet under him a little bit.
And when will he come back? That's the question still. And you look at the season, it's March 17th. This sport goes into May.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got meaningful matches 5 weeks out in the MPSF semifinals and championship. There is time left to heal up and kind of get ready. And the stretch, we're coming down the stretch run with 3 weeks in the regular season. Then there's going to be a quarterfinal week. Then there'll be a week with a semi and final in the conference tournament. Then there's a week off. Then there is another week with the NCAA tournament at Ohio State this year. So there's a lot of time left in this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
BYU up 2 sets to none. Tim Dobbert will start things off for the Cougars here in set 3. BYU has struggled sometimes up 2 sets to none in set 3 to kind of close the door. So let's see how BYU responds and how Charlie Wade and Hawaii responds here in set 3.
Big serve out of the gate.
What a pass from Rosenmeyer. And Von Tilburg sets the tone right away. The Dutchman, 1-0.
Yeah, that's such a nice swing from him. The opposite, 1 block up, and he just has the whole court.
Scoring update from baseball. UConn up 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th. Tomorrow we'll have game 3 of that series on BYUtv at 3 Eastern time. Stein, Von Tilburg into the net. They're tied up at 1 set apiece. Brendan Sander back to serve. 10 kills for Sander, hitting .500. And some really effective service pressure, even though he doesn't have an ace in the first 2.
Good toss, decent pass.
Sykes, and this one ricochets off the bottom of a basketball hoop and down.
No love from the ceiling.
What were some of the adjustments and comments from Charlie Wade at the break? Lauren Frankham has that.
Jerem, Coach Wade kept it short and sweet. He said we started off right in the first set. We went away from that, and we need to get back to who we are. Jerem.
Thank you, Lauren. Hawaii's been a really, really good team this season. And they didn't look like themselves as Hawaii goes into the net. Grosh got the kill in.
One thought I had from what happened in that second set, since we went away from who we are, one thing, when you're not passing super well, it's really tough to get the middles involved. And if you can't get your middles, because Hawaii has great middles, and we've watched them when they're in system, they're really hard to stop. But when you're not passing well, boom, ace again.
Brendan Sander, an ace man declares.
Oh, that was the Grosh.
Oh, excuse me, Grosh. Joe Grosh has brought it from the line tonight. He's had a couple of really good serves, gets the ace there. Sorry, to finish your thought.
No, that's all I'm saying is without the middles involved, it makes it that much harder for Stein to get things done. Oh,
Oh, and pounded from Franciscovich on the overpass. We're tied up at 3. If you can't serve receive, you ain't winning. That's just simply what it is. And that's something that BYU has worked on a lot. BYU was one of the worst teams in the league in serving last year. Got out of a lot of situations because they had 3 All-American pin hitters for the first time in program history.
Right.
And then that ineptitude was revealed by Ohio State. Just served BYU out. And BYU was still close in spite of that. I mean, BYU had 7 set points, lost the first set. Second set was close. BYU had a big lead, lost it. Third set, BYU got blown out. In the offseason, BYU sits there. All they do is work on serve, among other things, right?
Right.
And BYU comes back. They're one of the best serving teams in the country, and they're putting the pressure on Hawaii. You're seeing it tonight, the difference.
That is a huge, huge difference. There you
Yao-Hiainen, 4-3. BYU here in set number 3. Cougars up 2-0. 3 kills for Yao-Hiainen, who's starting in the place of Bryce Drummond, who sprained his ankle Wednesday. Drummond does feel like he'll be back next week for Long Beach State.
Yeah, Miki doing a nice job there in the middle.
Get the headphones on if it's going to be too loud now. Do it.
That's why I brought my own.
Capona Fay up the block. Look at Sykes keeping that one alive. This one over to Daubert. Diving Von Tilburg. Franciscovich. Block was late, and Capona Fay made him pay. 4-4.
You poet, you didn't even know it.
Adam had him.
Nice job there. BYU just couldn't really seem to get their feet under him in that play. Hawaii took advantage.
Jennings Franciscovich. Sander out of the back row gets the kill. He struggled a couple times on that. The back row quick, or Bick, gets that one to go. 5-4 BYU. Sander tied for a match high with 11 kills.
Tuiuleta just goes one hand on that dig. He's kind of mad at himself for not getting both out there on it.
Roll shot from Langlois. Tuiuleta on serve receive.
A great pass.
Von Tilburg. Sander. The tip over. 12 kills for Brendan Sander.
That ball was right in the heart of that block, but it took long enough that the block just fell back down to the earth, and the ball just rolled straight to the floor. Whoa. Just hang a little bit longer.
The tip placement by the Cougars have been pretty effective tonight.
Yeah, it has. Oh, big serve.
And Franciscovich into the net. That's the kind of service pressure we're talking about. You won't see it on paper. That'll just be an error from Hawaii.
That was dang
but
well.
That's all Langlois.
Very close to being an ace on that one, because that pass was about impossible to get to. I think he tried to set like a quick set on that bump pass, bump set.
Been watching Micah Ma'a a lot.
Oh,
Langlois wide right. Scott Norwood is upset. 7-5. BYU up here in set 3. Hawaii in this set. Hey, they fixed the offense, hitting 571 early. BYU hitting 800.
Whatever they can do, BYU seems to be a little bit ahead of the game.
And Hawaii leads the conference in blocks and digs as Yao-Hiainen gets another kill. It's rare that a team leads in both. Either you're really good at the net or you're really good defensively keeping it up, but they're good at both, and they're number 1 in kills. I mean, they're just a really good team.
They are, absolutely.
4 kills for Yao-Hiainen.
A lot of that comes from being able to pass that ball well enough to stay in system, and they're struggling to do so. BYU, like you said, their serving is just so much better than it has been the last few years.
That's why I'd be interested in seeing an Ohio State BYU matchup in May. Hawaii and Long Beach State have a lot to say about that. Penn State. King, by the way, out of Conference Carolinas, 19-2.
Wow.
They are a tremendous program as well this year. I'd be interested in seeing when Conference Carolinas will challenge, you'd think, somebody at some point in the NCAA tournament playing good volleyball there. Hendrik Moll. Overpass. Patrick Gassman. Good night. 8-7. Our scorebox sponsor is Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment throughout the western United States for over 65 years. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. 8-7 Brigham. Set 3. Sean Olmstead looks on. 50 matches in the books as the men's coach for Sean. 44-6. Pretty good. Daubert, back corner in. Wade thought that was out. Called in, no appeal.
Wow, using the entire court on that swing.
5th kill for Tim Daubert on 13 swings. And Daubert, the junior from Germany, who's going to graduate in April. Hitting 167 tonight. Tuileta keeps this one alive. The 3-meter line. Bonifay is blocked by Leo Durkin. 10-7 as BYU gets another block, 7.5 on the night.
Hawaii has got to start handling that serve a little better to stay in system because BYU is just all over. Nice help there by Leo, all by himself out there. Gets it done.
Daubert down the line at Rosenmeyer, who's been pretty quiet tonight. Von Tilburg just pounds this off the head of Grosh. That was way outside to Von Tilburg, and he just smashed it inside of the block and out.
It's a nice job. He's hammering that ball.
He hits this ball like he's standing out of bounds when he hits it. By standing, I mean flying.
Yeah, he had like no other way to go except off that block.
Von Tilburg. Langlois through the triple block. 11-8. BYU set 3 up 2-0 on Hawaii.
Langlois has got some pretty gnarly vision offensively to be able to see where that block is and where the defense is.
Charlie Wade looks on. BYU up 3 in set 3.
Big serve. Wow, that ball was...
Franciscovich. This one's still alive. Gassman. Franciscovich goes for it all. Langlois blocks it and then shakes to Dikembe Mutombo. Finger whack.
His finger might be about as big as Mutombo's as well. The setter tries to go up and get it done. Hitters, we don't need those thinking hitters. Oh, yeah, you do. Brendan Sander had a huge serve there, handled pretty well. That one wide. Nope, long.
12-9, Sander with the error. BYU up 12-9, set 3. Brings won the first set by 2 in extras. Won by 7 in the second set. Here we are in set 3. Brett Rosenmeyer hitting in the negative tonight. Back to serve in front of the student section, the Rock, for the Cougars.
Pretty nice serve, gets BYU into trouble.
Out of system swing from Langlois. Down the line, out, 12-10. Lead down to 2 as Hawaii tries to chip away at this. Hawaii has only trailed 2-0 in one other match all year. They were down 2-0 and then were swept by Long Beach State on night 2. On night 1, Hawaii was up 2-0 at Long Beach State, but lost the next 3 sets to lose in 5. Durkin. Sander from the back row, 13-10. Sander now with a match-high 13 kills. Hitting above 600 now after that one.
Well, if he's a little bit later, that set looked a little bit low. But doing a nice job avoiding the block and the defense. 3 seconds after he hit that he landed back on the ground. Jeez. Nice pass.
Bonifay on the outside. Some questions coming in as to the yellow card that was given to BYU earlier. Lucas Slabe apparently was given that yellow card for his excessive verbal appeal. Is the way I'm translating it.
Okay.
Yellow card, just a warning for one thing. Leo Durkin blocked that time. Von Tilburg.
Out of bounds. Another kill.
Von Tilburg is in fact a Flying Dutchman, and he has cut this down to 1.
He is very excitable as well.
You talked about how he needed to raise his game here in set 3 for Hawaii to climb back in this. He has. 12 kills, hitting .391 now, and this is a 1-point set. Durkin forced to push that over. Von Tilburg again.
Nice stop.
And then Hendrik Mole puts it away. We are tied at 13. BYU not serve receiving effectively. Sean Olmstead calls a timeout. We'll step aside. Hawaii has tied it up in a must-have set. We'll step aside. Off the block, the first bracketology of the season as revealed on BYUtv right now looks like this. Ohio State, the overall 1 seed. Long Beach State at number 2. BYU would play King in a playoff game. That's Conference Carolina's projected champ. Hawaii, the 4 seed. Penn State out of the EIVA. So the MPSF projected by Vinny Lopes and Off the Block to have the 2 at-large bids. The last 4 out are these teams. Of course, UC Irvine, who has defeated not only Ohio State, but BYU as well, right there. UCLA has had the injury bug. Lewis and Ball State. I think the gap between BYU, Hawaii, Long Beach State, Ohio State, and the next 4, as Jake Langlois skids the keel, is a little wide right now. I think there's some room that could be made up in the next 3 weeks and in the MPSF tournament. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking unless, Hawaii, BYU, and Long Beach State all bow out in the quarterfinals and kind of struggle down the stretch, that it's likely those 3, unless UC Irvine and UCLA make a run down the stretch or just win the conference title. I'm talking about at-large bids.
Right.
Kaponofe off the block, ties it at 14 apiece. But that's the fun of the MPSF. It is crazy, it is incredible, it is amazing, and it's going to be split, and this April is going to be special. It's the last time since 1993 to now we'll have the conference like that.
Right, so many powerhouses.
Langlois gets aced, and Hawaii is up 15-14, and momentum has swung. Ace man's not laying down a Hawaii ace, I'm sorry.
He looks a little bored right there.
Jennings Franciscovich on the serve. Sander hits it out, 16-14. Well, Sean Olmstead used his second and final timeout. He's up off the bench. He will not use the timeout.
BYU looks a little bit flat, and that's kind of a tough thing when you are up 2 and you're up in the 3rd. You got to just keep the pedal down. Nice job by Daubert to do so.
And on the left side in that one rotation, 16-15, Hawaii up. We say hello to those watching in the islands. They do a tremendous job on Oceanic cable broadcasting the games. I've loved watching those on YouTube and whatnot. Let's check in with Lauren Frank.
During that last timeout, Coach Olmstead told his team that they need to clean some things up, make some adjustments defensively, and most of all, be a little more disciplined on their block and really step it up right now. Jerem.
Thank you, Lauren. That one hit out by Hendrik Moll. We're tied up at 16 in set 3 with BYU up 2-0.
That was an absolute BB of a serve from Jake Langlois, handled impeccably well there by Tuileta.
I like that Lucas Slave has a ruler in his hand in the middle of the match. This is great. Von Tilburg is dug up. Durkin, cross court to Sander. Sander is blocked by Kaponofe. Durkin, higher for Sander this time, dug up by Rosie. Franciscovich, Von Tilburg inside of the block, and Hawaii takes the lead back.
Couple opportunities there for Brendan, just could not close the door on that point. And with a couple extra opportunities, Hawaii able to do so.
Hawaii came into the match with a 32-set win streak. BYU snapped that by winning the next 2. Hawaii trying to keep this match going. Kaponofe, the jump set at Langlois. Daubert, Tuileta. This one's going out though. 17s as Daubert gets his 7th kill. $17 apiece here in set number 3. As off the block, we appreciate them giving us the bracketology reveal for men's volleyball. The Joe Lenardi, if you will, of NCAA men's volleyball, Vinny Lopes.
Oh!
Joe Grosh, Roofing and Tile Company.
Nice job there. That time they did not set the block up at the antenna. You see Brendan comes in a little ways. That gives Josh an opportunity to drop that right hand a little bit and block that ball straight down.
BYU takes the lead back and out blocking the league leader 9.5 to 4.
Yeah, that's one kind of a weird thing as well.
And another one! 19-17, BYU up 2 now, late in set 3.
Tim Daubert, he's only 6'10", uses all of it on that block.
Oh, the finger wag, no, 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 as BYU fans love it. The Cougars up 2 late in set 3. Fans everywhere. BYU fans might have forgotten, but Hawaii has not. 2013, in the quarterfinals, BYU played Hawaii. Hawaii was the 8th seed. Hawaii was going to pull off the upset, but a controversial back row attack call on Hawaii changed the game. The setter for Hawaii was a back row player. Discussed, reviewed, BYU got the call and won. Hawaii, that's been in their craw for a while.
Yeah.
Because they were the 8th seed, and they were going to take down 1 seed BYU in 2013. The Cougars went on later that season to lose the national championship match against UC Irvine at UCLA. Hawaii, yeah, that was a tough one and an incredible match. BYU, a couple blocks here. Faye hits it out, 20-17. Hawaii unable to get the ball on BYU's side the last couple points.
Yeah, Tim Dauber's being huge at the net right now. It should be said as well, that was the right call. It's as unpopular as that call was. The setter goes up to set that ball. The ball's on the plane of the net. The BYU blocker touches it as he touches it. Therefore, it's a back row attack. It's the right call. It's a bummer. It's a horrible way to lose a huge match like that. But again, you know, you'd want the call to be right, not to lose and have the call be wrong. Yeah, that would be 10 times worse.
I don't like people getting angry at me. I especially love not angering Hawaiians. So I didn't want to stir the pot again, you know, from 4 years ago. But here we are.
And yeah, nicely done, not done.
Yeah, that's on the producer.
Joe Grosh.
Harrison Collier made the choice to bring that up again.
Yeah.
21-18, BYU up on the Joe Grosh kill there. It should be mentioned, as good as Hawaii's been over the years, Hawaii has not won in Provo since 2003, which is mind-blowing. And in this building specifically, since 2001, because the 2003 match was in the Marriott Center. You want to know who the starting libero in that match was? One Sean Olmstead, BYU head coach.
The Carp living legend.
That one was untouched and out. Wow, the wheels falling off.
Yeah, I believe so.
For Hawaii here at the end of set 3, 22-18.
Yeah, that's his last option there, his last time out, trying to summon something from this Hawaii team that looks a little bit defeated at this point.
And all of this without that man, Ben Patch, 2-time first-team All-American, opposite for BYU, who has a groin injury, resting to get healthy, has been for the last, with tonight, 9 matches in a row. And BYU's been on a roll without him. 11-match win streak. Hawaii comes into the match with a 15-match win streak. Long Beach State has a 12. And then King with a 9-match win streak, who's playing tremendous volleyball, as I mentioned, out of Conference Carolinas. Off the blocks, Conference Carolinas projected entrance into the NCAA tournament. So you look at the 3 hottest teams. BYU's hosting the top 2.
The other 2, right.
I mean, this is as good a scenario for BYU, who controls their own destiny. Home matches, the Smith Fieldhouse. BYU is an incredible 65-7 since 2013 at home. 4,544 in the house tonight, which could push BYU ahead of Hawaii in average, by the way.
Wow.
And we've got tonight through next Saturday 5 matches on BYUtv in the next 9 days.
A lot of fun.
Hawaii tomorrow night, 9 Eastern time. Don't miss that. Princeton for a non-conference match Tuesday. Long Beach State, the #1 team in the country, #1 in the conference, next Friday and Saturday. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride the next 9 days.
And this match, while BYU seems to be in the driver's seat yet again this third set, this has been some phenomenal volleyball. A lot of fun to watch both these teams. The clash of the Titans.
And Long Beach State coming in next week. Can't wait. Tim Dauber goes after.
What an amazing pass on a huge serve.
Kapono Faye with that, and then Von Tilburg trying to keep Hawaii in this. Von Tilburg with his 15th kill to lead the match. He's been tremendous here in set 3.
BYU putting a lot of pressure on them at the service line again, but Hawaii answering that time. Beautiful pass, setting up a huge kill. Looked like he was almost over the top again on that swing.
22-19, Von Tilburg from the line. Gets BYU out of system here.
Yes, he does.
Sander off the block. Hawaii trying to cut it to 2. Von Tilburg, D-ball, touched by Grosh. Langlois.
Langlois on his horse.
Sykes, Sander, tipped, blocked. Back on BYU side. Sykes back to Sander. Tuileta keeps it alive.
Oh, nobody
and Gassman
there.
overran it. Oh, that's a big play at this juncture. 23-19, and Gassman is feeling it.
He was just trying to get out of the way and then realized he's the only one there. as Stein was in hitting mode. He says, I'm not setting that. I want to hit it.
Franciskovic opted to let Gassman get that, and he did not. 23-19, big play.
Another beautiful pass.
Von Tilburg.
That's it right there. You get the pass there, stay in system. That opens everything up. The middles cannot bail. They got to stay home. Therefore, you get a one-on-one to the outside, and Stein is just unstoppable with the one-on-one. He
averages 4.52 kills per set, and he's hitting above 400 for an opposite. That's ridiculous.
It is. Those are just huge numbers.
Rosenmeyer out. Match point. 24-20. BYU's about to sweep Hawaii, who's won 15 in a row. 2 years ago, Hawaii was ranked #1, had won 16 in a row. They came to Provo and lost twice. BYU trying to keep that trend going and keep the streak going in Provo, where Hawaii has not won since '03. A Hawaiian, Will Stanley, into the match, off the tape. Von Tilburg.
It's a tough shot.
Durkin blocks it and it's over.
That was a tough set. Hard set to get after. And Leo Durkin makes him pay.
Hawaii travels to Provo. The 15-match win streak is over, and the 32-set win streak ended as well. BYU's won 12 in a row.
And you could see how far off the net that set was. And Leo just hung around and swatted it.
Hawaii had won 10 straight in conference as well, and BYU keeps it going where they've been so good at home. They've lost one match at home, a 5-setter to Hawaii. Look at Durkin climb the ladder and end things. And that first set, BYU won in extras, and then BYU won by 7 and 5. These two will tangle again tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, right here on BYUtv. The Cougars sweep Hawaii.
Yeah, that.
Surprised?
I am surprised, absolutely, especially without Ben Patch, without Price Jarman. But Hawaii, boy, they're legit. They are for real. That is a very talented team on the other side of the net.
Here's the Dexter and Dexter play of the game. Dexter Law is as passionate about shouldering people's burdens as it is about BYU. Dexter and Dexter helps when you need it most. DexterLaw.com. Jake Langlois, the block, and then the kill in set one to win set one, 28-26. That was a tight one. 4 set points, and BYU won it.
It's another one of those nice soft block there, and then doesn't go 100% on the swing. Just control and finesse off the block and down for the kill.
These two teams will play again tomorrow night in another big MPSF conference match. Everyone getting grandma juice from the Sanders there. That's the orange drink you see there.
That stuff is money.
Lauren Frankham is with Jake Langlois.
Jake, you guys just beat a really good Hawaii team. You dominated them. What made you guys so good tonight?
Serving. That's how it's always been this season. We've been serving really tough. They're a really, really good passing team, and we were just able to get them out of system quite a bit.
You broke a long win streak for Hawaii tonight. What was your guys' game plan against them coming in?
Like I said, serve tough, be in good spots blocking, and just don't let down, because if we try as hard as we can, we could beat anyone.
A lot of guys did some good things for your team tonight. Who stood out to you the most offensively?
I thought Brendan did an awesome job. He's coming back from some knee pain, and he's doing awesome the past few matches, especially tonight.
You guys get these guys again tomorrow night. Anything you guys want to clean up before you head into the match?
We have a few plays that are unorthodox that we're letting drop, so I think just playing more scrappy, playing more composed when the ball's bouncing all over the place.
Well, you played well. Congratulations. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Jake is downplaying that in his voice, but they just swept Hawaii. I mean, that was as good a win as BYU's had all season, the way they did it, who they did it against.
Absolutely.
And Jake Langlois now has to battle the crowd to get out of here. Same two teams tomorrow. I think that Jake might be downplaying that because he knows it could be very different tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Hawaii is a tremendous team. We'll have these two teams again tomorrow.
They doubled up the best blocking team in the conference, and the serving was legit as well. BYU played really well. Real quick, 462 in the first set, 385 and 478 in the third set. I mean, they were just lights out offensively, and what they held Hawaii to offensively, BYU did a great job tonight. They beat a very, very stacked team, a little bit underhanded as well, undermanned as well. But yeah, very, very, very good play by
No
BYU.
Patch, no Jarman, no problem. BYU sweeps Hawaii. Don't forget tomorrow, 3 Eastern time, BYU and UConn in baseball. We'll be back tomorrow night as well at 9 Eastern time for these two teams again. Huge implications in the conference and NCAA tournament. For Lawrence, Steve, and our crew, I'm Jeremy saying good night from Provo. BYU sweeps Hawaii. We will see you tomorrow.